As I begin my college career this fall, my recent shadowing experience as a part of the Student Leadership Johns Creed program has strengthened my interest in pursuing architecture as my major area of study. On February 16, 2018, I had the opportunity to shadow Gwinnett County Public Schools resident architect Kerry Bell and accompany him on his fieldwork for the day. Our first stop was a tour at one of the school's district partnering firms, Lindsay Prote, Brayfield, and Clifford. Upon entering the firm, one of the first things visitors will notice are the many projects which are highlighted on their portfolio wall. The wall features examples of the hundreds of buildings they have completed during their 40 years in existence. On the tour, I had an opportunity to meet architects, industrial and structural engineers, and interior designers. I learned about the many projects the firm has completed and how the teams within a firm work collaboratively to accomplish work on a variety of projects. I observed Mr. Bell as he had discussions with team members about one of their current projects, which is a new themed high school in Lilburn scheduled to open in August 2019. This discussion gave me insight about the important role Mr. Bell plays in coordinating the work of each firm the district contracts with as they build new schools. After consulting with the firm, we traveled to Norcross to the site of Paul Duke STEM High School, a themed high school which is scheduled to open in the fall of 2018. The building was designed by Smallwood, Reynolds, Stewart, and Associates, Inc., which is another architectural firm contracted by the school district. Diana Quinn, who is a structural engineer and the facility planning coordinator with GCPS, gave us a tour of the building. As you approach and enter the building, one of the first things you notice is an architectural roofing feature known as a butterfly roof. The media center is located off of the main hallway and is designed so students can have open spaces to be creative as they complete projects. The lighting of the cafeteria, which is designed in a circular pattern, was one of the important features Ms. Quinn discussed. The lighting fixtures are designed to be efficient while also aesthetically pleasing to students. Learning spaces in the school are traditional, but will contain movable furniture which can be reconfigured for the completion of projects. The science lab are configured in a U-shaped design which will be conducive for project-based learning activities. The auditorium is being constructed differently from the normal building pattern. The outer shell of the area was constructed first and the dirt will be excavated last. I had an amazing opportunity to learn about the day in the life of an architect as a result of my shadowing project. By shadowing Mr. Bell, I had a chance to see firsthand the role of an architect who works in a large organization and contracts with architectural firms. I was also able to view the world of architecture from the perspective of principals who are owners of a firm. I walked away from the experience with an even greater desire to become an architect in the future and ultimately become a principal of my own firm one day. A special thanks to Margaret Beatty, Principal Architect, K-12 Education, LPBC, Walt Martin, Chief Operations Officer, Gwinnett County Public Schools, Kerry Bell, Registered Architect, Office of Facility Planning, Gwinnett County Public Schools, Diana D. Quinn, Structural Engineer, Facility Planning Coordinator, Gwinnett County Public Schools, and the Student Leadership Johns Creed program.
Hi, my name's Julia Primos. Let me tell you about my day shadowing the Director of Communications for the City of Johns Creek. I chose to shadow Jennifer Chapman at the Johns Creek City Hall because I am very interested in media communications or public relations. Jennifer is the Director of Communications for the City of Johns Creek, so I knew a day shadowing her would be very beneficial and fun. I got to the City Hall at 10 a.m. I started off the day by talking with Jennifer about what she likes about her job and what a typical day looks like for her. Jennifer explained to me that her job really has to do with keeping up with and managing all the social media accounts and communications for the city of Johns Creek. She is in charge of making sure important events in the city are announced and covered on the social media accounts. And also, she's in charge of keeping people of the city updated and informed. As she was explaining this to me, I actually got to see this work in action. Jennifer was told that there was a gas main break on a very busy road in Johns Creek and that the road was being closed. She had to act quickly to get all of the details and information from different people on the scene of the break. Then she had to type up announcements for all the different social media accounts telling everyone about the incident, and then she had to keep her information updated as she received more details. During my day, I met many different people at the City Hall. I met the fire chief and a bunch of different directors. I really got the sense that Jennifer's job was very dependent on teamwork and interaction with other people in the City Hall and around the city. A lot of her work had to do with contacting other directors in the office, as well as different reporters and execs in the city. Towards the end of the day, Jennifer gave me the task of working on some potential social media posts for the City of Johns Creek's new Health and Wellness Initiative that they're announcing soon. I enjoyed being creative with this and bringing a youthful and unique vibe to these potential posts. My shadowing experience really helped me see that this field of work could be one that I'm very interested in. I think I would rather do something like this in a more of a corporate job instead of city hall or government type. But I'm really interested in media communications or public relations for maybe a bigger company. Shadowing Jennifer was very beneficial for me discovering this.
Created using Powtoon.
For my shadow project, I knew I wanted to shadow a veterinarian or zoologist in the Atlanta area, and I came across Dr. Sam Rivera of the Atlanta Zoo. After reading through his profile, I was really interested in some of the work he had accomplished, so I decided to research further to see what I could find. In researching Dr. Rivera, I came across his profile on Kansas State University's alumni page. After looking at many of the recognitions and awards he got, I realized that he would be a fantastic opportunity to shadow, so I shot him an email. When I got my response, I looked at all the acronyms after his name that I didn't understand and knew I had to shadow him. So on the 28th, I made the hour-and-a-half long ride from Johns Creek to the Atlanta Zoo.
Hey, hello, my name is Dr. Sam Rivera, and I am the Senior Director of Veterinary Services here at Zoo Atlanta.
Dr. Rivera first gave me a tour of his office and his daily schedule. I sat in on a meeting with the assistant veterinarians, as well as some guest ENT doctors about an upcoming procedure. After meeting the petting zoo animals who were in the midst of getting their weekly skin treatments, we headed to the gorilla habitat to meet today's patient. While I wasn't able to document the surgery, I was able to capture the VIP viewing room and talk to some of the volunteers.
And vet staff.
I'm Amelia. I'm a volunteer in vet staff.
Hi, I'm Ginger. I'm a docent here. It's been 20 years, and I work in the vet clinic right now, but I have been an animal handler here, and I loved it.
And what's your favorite animal at the zoo?
Well, he's no longer here. It was a Cayman Island blue rock iguana named Buddy, who would tear up his cage when he heard my voice till I came and got him out.
And Amelia, what's your favorite?
Yang, one of the pandas.
Aww.
He's the best.
Thank you, guys.
The pandas were in fact amazing, and I was lucky enough to meet them myself. But hold on to that for later. First, I got the unbelievable opportunity to be invited into the surgery room and watch the gorilla get his surgery. I got to see Dr. Rivera insert a catheter for urine samples, take blood samples from the foot, and extract blood from the ear canal to repair a bad ear infection and unblock the eardrum.
Okay, let's give him another breath. Yes, to give him at least to do like this. Okay, alright.
After watching the gorilla's surgery, we were able to go into the recovery center in the back of the habitat to see the other gorillas who had come inside to avoid the rain. After learning about the recovery process, Dr. Rivera took me around to some different habitats to meet and learn about some of the animals. These are the baby pandas Yalun and Shilun. I got to feed them treats and watch how the keeper trains them to accept shots from the vets.
And this is a different brand that we're trying to get them to eat, but it's the least favorite. This one, the red ones, they have much sugar, so that's why
So they like it more.
Yeah.
You're so gentle.
I also got to feed the giraffes and see the warthog, zebras, and even an ostrich laying an egg. While I wasn't able to video everything, I have some clips of different animals I met around the zoo. This is the bush dog, who came up to greet us at the glass. And then we headed over to the elephant habitat, and we actually got to see one of the elephants, Kelly, get her ears cleaned. After a long day of getting to experience veterinary procedures and meeting the animals, I thanked Dr. Rivera for all he had shown me, and of course got to feed the flamingos on the way out. Thank you again to Dr. Rivera and the entire veterinary staff that showed me their daily routine of taking care of the animals at the zoo. I especially loved getting to see the gorilla's repaired ear infection and learning how the keepers train the pandas to accept shots and offer their stomachs for ultrasounds.
created using Powtoon. Using Powtoon.
Hi, my name is Avery Wexler. I'm a senior at Johns Creek, and for my shadowing project, I shadowed Karen Davis at the Coca-Cola headquarters. Karen Davis is the Vice President for Human Resources of the National Food Service and On-Premise for Coca-Cola North America. Part of Karen Davis's job is to organize HR lists and assign roles, to work in teams, to attend conference meetings, and succession planning. Teamwork is a big part of HR. They all work together to decide whether an employee should get a raise, whether they should be promoted to a new job, whether they should be a leader, or if they should be let go or fired. Although it is a little bit more of a combination of both, you do some work alone, but primarily it's teamwork. I chose to shadow Karen Davis because she's a close family friend of mine, and I've always thought that her job has been really interesting, especially because she works at Coca-Cola, which is a big Fortune 500 company. The schedule for the day for me was, first I met with her team and organized and restructured organization charts. So we sat in a conference room and I got to meet everyone and we just worked together to restructure some HR positions. After that, Mrs. Davis took me on a tour of the headquarters. After that, we had a conference call. And then finally, we spent some time learning about Coca-Cola business and organization. What Mrs. Davis likes about her job the most is that every day is different and that she gets to work with teams in HR and business. She also loves that she can see the result of her work and how it impacts others. The leadership skills that I identified in Mrs. Davis was the 5 leadership behaviors of Coca-Cola, which are collaborating with others, inspiring others, developing self and others, driving innovation, and acting like an owner. I thought that she really took those leadership skills from Coca-Cola to head and involved them in her work life. My opinions have definitely changed since I've shadowed Karen Davis. I don't think I'll be pursuing a career in the HR field because I think that I am more in need of a high-paced job. Overall, I had a really fun time with Mrs. Davis, and I'm so thankful that she took the time to let me shadow her. So thank you, Mrs. Davis, and I hopefully will see you at Coca-Cola in the future.
Using Powtoon. Created using Powtoon.